in Dallas, Texas in July is 110 in the shade, and it's a 5,000-mile round trip. My wife asked me what was I thinking, so I sucked her in too. We went to Dallas, and they actually closed the highways down for us. You had to see this. The most impressive highways you can imagine, empty. We had motorcycles, police cars. It was incredible what they did for us. And they brought us all the way through to the Cotton Bowl, where we held this pledge of never again. Very much like we did on Parliament Hill. This year we're doing it in Boca Raton. And now we have cities, major cities, all along the route that are basically closing down major parks for us, giving us police escorts because they want to have this pledge of never again in each one of their cities. And these are not Jewish cities, they're not Jewish communities. Scranton, Pennsylvania being one of them, Whitfield, Virginia another, Atlanta, the mayor of Atlanta and his whole staff are coming. We've got a 20-mile police escort. I mean, right through, and they're feeding us, and they're, anyway, it's just exciting. Which makes me think about why we're here today. This brand of liberalism we're dealing with is a poison. It's killing us, it's killing our countries, it's killing our children. It stands for everything that the greatest generation stood against. Our fathers and grandfathers fought in World War II, some World War I. We fought for truth. We fought for freedom. We fought for the right to be independent of government. We fought for our right to be ourselves. And this brand of liberalism throughout Canada, the United States, all over the world is killing us. We can't afford that.
Oh, look at me. Okay.
So, when I turned 64, it wasn't a huge mental impact on me, but it made me think. I'm not tired. I'm not old. I still schlep hay with the best of them. Well, maybe not the best, but... Speaking of which, show of hands, when I bale hay this summer, how many people are coming?
I'll help you. I'll help you. You call me, I'll help you.
So far I got 2 and my wife.
You call me, I'll help you. I've lived on a farm, I've done it.
So, my birthday's February the 12th, me and Abe Lincoln. So, just a coincidence. So,
this isn't a theater.
I can't do a lot of the stuff that I used to do. I'm tired. I'm not tired for a 64-year-old, but I'm not a kid any longer. And it's important that you realize that you develop limitations as you're getting older. But my philosophy hasn't changed at all. If anything, it's become harder. I was looking for another interest. Thinking about the environment we live in, about the politics, about the new philosophies, about this incredible divide that we never would have imagined before, about this piece of work in the White House, and how he's screwing up the whole world, never mind just his world. And I thought, well, what can I do that's not really going to be physically taxing, that I can enjoy, and I can develop a skill, and I can show off a little. So I got guns. So I told Ann, I want to get a gun. And Ann says, what are you going to do with a gun? I said, shoot. What kind of gun do you want? I said, I want a handgun. I didn't know the difference between a pistol and a revolver. I want a handgun. I'll walk through the house like... Did I break it again?
I think so.
Hello?
Down lower.
Down lower?
Yeah.
Okay.
How
So
about-
Ann says, you know nothing about guns. I said, I used to have guns 35 years ago. I knew nothing then, I know nothing now. So I took a course, so like a 6-week course. I learned all about guns, well not a lot, but enough to pass and get a thing called a PAL, a purchase acquisition license. In Canada, to get a gun, it's easier for a guy to get pregnant. Then I had to take another course and I got a thing called an RPAL, a restricted purchase acquisition license. That's a treat. So I got this. Now I gotta go get a gun. Hey Ann, come with me, let's go get a gun. So we went to Brockville, we found this gun shop, walked in there, it was like a candy factory. I wanted them all. By a fluke, not because I knew anything, I got a 6-hour P226 22 LR. It's a 22 semi-automatic, right? A pistol that is considered one of the best. That was just a fluke. And my wife, being as generous as she was also the most expensive gun in the shop. She says, you're only going to buy it once. So one day I'm going to the shooting range, not far from where I live, off the 138 near Cornwall. I said, Dan, you want to come with me? She says, yeah. Big mistake. Ann has guns. We've been married for over 41 years. And it used to be Ann would look on the internet or magazines and say, Howard, look at this. And she's talking about a dress or she's talking about a new kind of makeup. Now she's talking about an AR-15. Tammy Hart's laughing over there, but ask Tammy what she has. Hey Tammy, I got a gun. Tammy says, I want one too. So Tammy shoots at our range as well. Incredibly, more guns have been sold in Canada in the last year or two than at any other time before. Everybody says, now it's against the law in Canada to hunt with a handgun. So it's rifles. Everybody says, I want to shoot at a range. They're not hunters. Nobody wants to hunt. I'm not a hunter. I want to shoot at a range. So we have people joining our club like there's no tomorrow because you can't get your license unless you're part of a range. You have to have a purpose to get a restricted license. But no one shows up at the range. They join, they get their license, they buy their guns, and we never see them. People are scared. People are looking south of the border and they're scared. I was speaking to the single largest retail gun seller in Canada the other day, in Montreal, an Italian family that you walk into the store and all of the store they sell kitchen stuff like pots, pans, special cooking things. In the back of the store they've got one little counter where they sell more guns out of that counter. You walk in there, it's French, Italian, and English. Everyone's yelling and everyone's pointing guns. This guy sells more guns than any other place in Canada, and he tells me he cannot keep up. People are scared. It's called Dante's on Dante Street and Saint-Zotique. Right near, it's in the Italian section, Little Italy off of the main, Saint Laurent Boulevard. So, it says an awful lot. I'm going to wrap this up, 5 minutes.
Okay.
It's about me. It's not about the guns, not about the motorcycles. I think it was January the 3rd. It was minus 40 degrees outside. We had to go shopping, pick some stuff up in Alexandria. So I told Ann, I said, I'll stay in the car, I'll drive you to the front door, whatever store we're going to go shopping in. We'll keep the car warm. Call me on the cell phone. I'll come back to the front door and I'll pick you up. We'll load the groceries or whatever it is into the car. So while I was sitting in the car waiting for Ann outside a grocery store, all the fingers, except my thumb, in this hand went numb. I couldn't feel them. If you would have cut them off, I wouldn't have known it. And that sort of really threw me back. After about 2 or 3 minutes, the feeling started to come back. Then the back of my tongue on the left side went completely numb. And I had a metallic taste in my mouth, and I figured, I'm having a stroke. I drove across the parking lot to a Jean Coutu, ran inside, bought extra strength, a super strength aspirin, 500 milligrams a pill, took 2 of them, sat in the car, and played the kind of games you would play if you're having a stroke to see if you're really having a stroke. Out loud, I recited my name, my address, my phone number, the postal code. I can remember them, so that made me feel okay. I made an O with my mouth looking in the mirror to see if my face was contorted. It wasn't. And after a few minutes, that sensation left as well. I went back to the parking lot, and I wasn't going to tell Anne because, like every husband, you never say stuff like this to your wife because you just don't. But I knew she'd know something was wrong, so I said to her, I had taken Advil, science and cold medicine, which a diabetic shouldn't take. But I've taken it in the past and never had an effect. I don't take any kind of pills that I really don't have to anyways. I told her I had a really bad reaction to these pills, and I told her what had happened. She says, we're going to the hospital. I said, no, we're going home and we're going to unload groceries. Because that's what guys do. So I didn't go to the hospital. And after almost a week, I'm writing an editorial. I look up at the screen, and it looked like a monkey had been on a keyboard. Nothing I typed made sense. Nothing. Zero. So I concentrated really hard. And then I couldn't remember words that I wanted to use or names. I said, Anne, let's go to the hospital. So we went to the Alexandria Hospital, who were really fabulous at this. Took all kinds of tests, and the doctor said, you had a TIA. Never heard those initials before. It's a mini stroke. It's the precursor to a real stroke. Then I went for, I needed to have a CAT scan, a brain scan,